Just doing a special CERN update here. A special report. The Large Hadron Collider was turned on, I guess yesterday now. And since that time, I've been sleeping. I get up and I keep going back down, which is odd for me because I usually have trouble with sleep. And yeah, so anyway, the only I've been keeping track of changes, things that people have pointed out, and one thing that a lot of people mention is that time seems to have slowed a bit, like slowed down, and I kind of feel that too. Could be because I've been sleeping, but it seems like it's 1 a.m. here in Honolulu, and it feels like I've been sleeping for days. I keep waking up, going back to sleep. We've already been over this yet, but the dreams themselves are very similar. They're it's me breaking apart from some group of people, or staying behind while one group of people goes somewhere. For instance, in the last one I had, it was a large group of people that were setting themselves up in tunnels of this abandoned mall. And they were getting ready for some kind of flood. And they were talking about, all right, we've got to hold on to the walls. And I'm like, I don't want to be part of this. So I found myself alone, trying to get out of the mall before the waters came. I couldn't, so at one point I go back to where the people are, but it was already too late to close off the chamber. There are a lot of similar dreams like this that I just went through, and I'd wake up where I was being separated from other people. I don't know if that means anything, whatever. One thing, the changes that I've seen picked up on that were just immediate is I guess the placement of New Zealand has changed in its relationship to where it was next to Australia before. I don't really have the exact knowledge of how that looked, but that seems to be a topic of conversation, is the moving of Australia. All these things I'm monitoring, I'm checking on 4chan, X, and surprisingly Poll has a lot of threads about it now, about different changes people are seeing or experiencing since the LLC was turned on. Another Anon had a real interesting dream where he found himself this is what he described as at the controls of the world. And it was split up into different scenarios, kind of like dreams or tests, like what I always talk about. And he found that he had his hands on the controls of these things. Like in one scenario, he could make it rain. And he could change, not just the weather patterns, but the amount of people. It was like he was programming. He found himself at the controls of the system that programs dreams, and which is not much different than the system here. Because I think dreams are just versions of what's going on here. Another thing that's weird that happened specifically to the boards it used to be CAPTCHA was 5 numbers or letters to solve, 5 digits, which was a pain in the ass as it was. It suddenly becomes 6. Now that could just be a joke or something, or I don't know. But that hasn't been established quite yet. For some people, though, they're saying it's still 5 for them, and for others it's 6. There's a few other minor things like that where people are reporting something's changed for them, And other people have been saying, no, it's the same for me. When they turn on the LLC, usually there's a bunch of shit that happens, and then things settle down. But the only thing everyone seems to agree to in common is the speed of time has changed a little bit. It's slowed. It slowed itself down. And if you ever watch my stuff for any length of time, you know I'm obsessed with sleep and how to escape sleep, get away from sleep. I just did a video about it the other day. And I think it was around 10 a.m. On yesterday that I went to sleep. And it's almost 2 o'clock the following day at night. Well, it's morning, 2 a.m. And I finally got myself out of bed. I was waking up periodically to use the bathroom, get a drink, and read a little bit more of the reportage coming in about possible CERN changes. It's fucking dead out here. Nobody around. I love this place, man. It's there's a lot going on here. A friend and I one night were out here and watching the Alloy Canal, and we saw some kind of show. Yeah, I'll have to get into that sometime. That's another cool story that I keep seeing. Well, actually, no, I never brought this one up. I just thought of it now. But yeah, I'm going to keep making updates about any changes that happen. I guess there's really nothing interesting right now, but I felt compelled to come out here and at least make a notation of it, that things are in fact changing. And like I said, the when this thing starts up, it usually a lot of stuff happens and it settles down and changes. So, it could be something like that too. Don't blame a teacher or blame a school.